When I was growing up in the Bronx, the only thing I knew of beer was the guy at Yankee Stadium that would yell, "Beer here!" Well, now there is a place you can go to in the Bronx and taste some pretty amazing beer. It's the Bronx Brewery. Yes, I said the Bronx Brewery, not the Brooklyn Brewery. I talked with its head brewmaster, Damian Brown. Damian, thank you so much for taking the time to talk with me.
Absolutely, welcome.
So tell me about the Bronx Brewery.
So yeah, I've been, started the company about 4 years ago. We're in the South Bronx on 136th Street. We make pale ales. And we're sitting right now in our backyard. So we've got a tasting room out in front of the brewery and a beer garden here in the back.
Yeah, this is really a fantastic space that you have here.
Thank you. Yeah, we're very happy with it and have a lot of fun here.
Where are you from originally?
So my dad was a pilot in the Air Force, so kind of moved all over. Born in Colorado. Home is sort of Northern Virginia for me. It's where a lot of my family is now, but yeah, all over.
So that said, how does the South Bronx feel to you?
It feels great. This is my new home. This is where I spend most of my time here at the brewery, and love it.
Now, of course, the South Bronx has long had a reputation of being this down and out place. Do you see yourself as a sign of the new vision of the South Bronx?
I think we'd like to think that we're contributing to a revitalization of the neighborhood. I think for us the focus is, to come here, invest money in this facility and in a product that people can be proud of, and start to put our focus on the immediate neighborhood. So, first our street and then our block and, so on and so forth. But yeah, we'd like to, think that at some point we'll have made a positive impact here.
Let's talk about the product, the beer that you make here.
Yeah. So we do, we make pale ales, so that's sort of our focus. It's a beer that we love to drink, the beer that we like to make. Our philosophy from a brewing standpoint is to keep things both complex but approachable. So everything is about balance. So you won't see, crazy, esoteric, very extreme beers. Everything is, again, focused on this idea of balance. And for us, that's what, brewing pale ales means.
So how do you attract folks to the South Bronx, to the Bronx Brewery, when a lot of folks are indeed going to, dare I say it, hipster Brooklyn?
Yeah, I think for us, the idea was to have the growth here be a bit more organic. So, we do put some, stuff on social media. We've got a marketing team that we just brought on board. Up until now, it's been entirely organic. So we've gone around the neighborhood, make sure everyone knows we're here. We have, special nights for, firefighters and police officers and, emergency personnel. We get a lot of people from the FedEx, office down here, and it's been a lot of fun. So very organic. During the week, it's mostly people that live and work in this area. And then on the weekends, we do get more of the sort of destination types coming up from the city or from Brooklyn, but mostly organic. It's been a lot of fun.
Of course, when you make beer, you have that great aroma, which I'm smelling right now. Do you ever get used to that smell?
No, I still enjoy it. Yeah, every day I come in, it's a great thing to smell.
When you have a brewery like this, people get a chance to see the process. What would you say surprises people most about the process of making beer?
I think people are always intrigued to see the raw materials that go into beer. So I think most people have heard of the words malt and hops, but really have no idea what they are or what they look like. So I think that's always pretty exciting for people to see, the raw materials that we use, and I think also the sort of immediacy of the process. So we're literally taking these raw materials and, processing them in equipment that's, right in front of people. And so it's a very direct manufacturing process, and I think people appreciate that.
I've heard that you also work with community gardens that are growing hops. Is that right?
Yeah, so it's something a project that we started a couple years ago, and we've worked with the botanical gardens, and we had a hop expert from Cornell Ag Extension come down, did some seminars to teach some of the community gardens about hops, what they are, how to grow them. We purchased a bunch of rhizomes that we distributed to gardens, and we were able to harvest some of the hops. So,
what's the history of the space, of this particular space that you have here?
So the building was built in 1929. It was an ironworks building originally, and then became a lace factory. And while we were doing our build out, we actually found some of the swatches of lace floating around, which is kind of cool. And then it became a storage warehouse for an electrical contractor. And then we moved in. And it was about an 18-month build out for us, pouring new floors. We had to take out a second floor in the main brewery area, poured new floors, new drains, gas, water, electric, and then installed all the equipment.
So Damien, here we are inside the brewery. What is in all of these barrels?
So we have beer in these barrels. So a very small amount of beer we make, we put into these barrels. We've got all different types of barrels. These are some mezcal barrels we brought up from Oaxaca. We've got red zin barrels here from Brooklyn Winery. We've got some pommeau barrels from an orchard upstate. And the idea essentially is to peel off a very small amount of beer and then age it in these barrels. So it picks up not only flavors from the wood as it fluxes in and out of the wood, but also flavors from whatever spirit or wine that the barrel held. So we keep the beer in here anywhere from 3 months to 2 years, and then we'll package it. And so these are very, there's a lot of time and effort and, love go into these. So very small, limited release beers.
Okay, so walk us a little bit further inside and point out what we're seeing here.
All these tanks here on the right are cellar tanks. And so this is where the beer ferments and conditions. So these, cylindrical conical tanks are our fermentation vessels. The dish-bottomed are our conditioning tanks. So after we brew, which takes a day, we send the beer over here, and it ferments and conditions for about 2.5 weeks. And then we'll transfer it to a bright tank, carbonate it, and package.
How many people are you employing here?
We're up to about 20 people. So yeah, every month it seems to have new people coming on. It's great. It's been a growing family.
So Damien, tell me about the tasting room.
Yeah, so the tasting room's right out in front of our brewery. You can see the tanks here in the background. It's open starting at 3 Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, and then starting at noon on Saturday and Sunday. So it's a place for people to come, hang out, drink beer, take tours of the facility. And
what prompted the idea to bring this brewery to the Bronx?
Yeah, so a couple of reasons why we're here. 2 of my business partners born and raised in the Bronx. Also, we got really excited about the idea of bringing this brewing tradition back to the Bronx. There have been dozens of breweries here in the past. The most recent one closing in the '60s, and also importantly, this is the part of the city where things are actually made. So this is a heavy manufacturing and industrial area. Brooklyn may have a lot of the cool brands. This is where things are actually made. So it was important